Come on, girl. She don't want to start. Not good. Grass needs cut. Hey YouTube, welcome to the Off-Grid Mountain Homestead. Today's video is not the gardening video. It's not really a prepping video. Kind of a gearhead video. But it's more self-reliance. How to fix your own stuff if you need. This lawnmower hadn't started with these switches in 2 or 3 years. They just corroded out where this thing sits under a lean-to hutch. The weather's corroded the switches. I lost the original ignition switch about 10 years ago. It was like a $300 part to replace the factory Kubota switch. So, tired of having to start it the hillbilly way, if you will. This is my fuel cutoff switch to replace the factory ignition with all the push button stuff, like an old school tractor. So I'm having to start it with a screwdriver and a wire. And I'll show you that too in another clip here in a few minutes. I'm getting tired of having to do it this way. So I finally broke down, got the parts, fixed it the right way. So Mrs. Off-Grid can drive it around and use it and haul her garden cart if she needs to. As it's very handy for moving firewood and stuff around, or potting soil, you know, different stuff around the homestead without having to, you know, fire off some larger equipment. I got weatherproof switches this time. I got a nice little cover on them. It's basically the same kind of switch, the same hole, because those holes are 5/8 on the existing switches. These are 5/8. They just come with this nice weatherproof cover. So if it gets rained on, or you know, is out in the weather, gets washed, it doesn't corrode the internal contacts in the switch. So I got 60 amp switches, momentaries. These were like $8 or $9 a piece at the local O'Reilly's. So instead of doing that, I went off Amazon, got a 3-pack for the same price as one switch at the local parts store. And for my fuel cutoff, I got some shielded toggle switches for the fuel. And I'm even going to try to fix the headlights because the switch on them went bad eons ago too. So she's a 86 model. She's kind of old, but still doing her thing. Thousands of hours, running all kinds of different fuels. I call it the multi-fuel engine. It's running everything. And she's not stock either. She's been turned up a smidge, but I'll include more of that later in the video. And no, the battery tie down was not my modification. The previous owner had already changed out the factory Kubota battery to a larger car battery, and I've just kept the regular style car batteries in. I think this is like from a Honda Civic or something like that. You know, a $50 battery versus the factory Kubota battery or the factory size battery, which is a special size for its amp draw, amp rating, you know, $200. So I've gone through 2 or 3 of these over the years. But you know, the patented hold down works. It goes down in there and loops around. But anyhow, I got to take all this battery out to get to the dash to fix it. And I got to pull the guard plate off right here to get to the fuel switch for the pump. And I'm going to try to add in a new light switch right there too. Assortment of tools and parts needed to complete the task. And that's right, all the HVAC guys. John Stone Stay-Con kit saves the day again. Here's the old switches. There's the old fuel pump switch. Crusty. And then the old push buttons, which you can see the terminals in there, nasty, corroded black. So got one of them still loose where you can see. I put new Stay-Cons on the ends of the wires. The old ones were corroded and nasty and oxidized. These are high temp Stay-Cons, a little more durable than the standard aluminum ones. But you can see this switch is completely sealed internally versus the old switch right here that has openings on the side, you know, where crud can get in there. It's not sealed as good, you know, but you know, years ago had some of them laying around, so I just used them. New switches installed. I did have to take these washers, take a chainsaw file and file them out a little bit to support this switch from the key opening, because the key opening was, you know, about that big and the switch would fall through. So I already had washers in there, but these new switches are just a smidge bigger than the old one, so I filed that out. And we got the new fuel pump switch put in. But yeah, this wiring's been patched on. I didn't do most of this stuff here. I had to go back and fix it, add fuses and stuff in because somebody had botched it all, but it works. It's fused and protected, so you know, it gets the job done. She still runs. All right, got everything put back together. Patented battery tie downs back in place. The push button switches now. Oh yeah, good sound. All right, fuel pump, lift pump if you will. Glow plugs. Watch down in the little hole right there, and you'll see the indicator start glowing. Meaning they're working, the resistance is there. Takes them a second to warm up. There they go, she's glowing now. Set the throttle up a smidge. Perfect. All right, this is the way we had to start this lawnmower for a long time. This is off-grid, did not like this. So hot from the battery, down to the glow plug, hold it for about 30 seconds, and then come in and short the So yeah, the push button back to normal is a lot safer than using the old shorty screwdriver and the jumper lead to make the glow plugs go. But that just goes to show you, if you got an old school diesel without electronics and you break something out in the field as far as ignition, or you know, something in your switches and wires go bad, you can always just pull the signal wire to the starter solenoid or the actual switch wire to the solenoid and send there and jumper across 12 volts to the solenoid to engage the starter. So that might get you out of a tight spot, and if you drive a Ford, you probably know what I'm talking about already with the solenoid on the firewall. Now time for the test drive. We're not burning alternative fuels in her today. She's got some straight diesel in her. Let's take her for a rip. Well, that about sums it up. She's running. Easy to start now. So, quick little project, not too bad. And the lights, no go on fixing the lights today. The bulbs were popped in the old fixtures. I guess just age ruined the filaments in them, so I'm gonna upgrade them to LEDs at some point. So I just pulled the bulbs out of the housings today just to get us by. So there she is, the old G5200 Kubota with a D600 3-cylinder. Safe starting it now. So thank you for watching the Off-Grid Mountain Homestead. stay tuned and be sure to like, comment, subscribe.